YouTube? This is Wawa Echo. My name is Zach, and we are here for the Smackdown Survey for October 31st, 2017. And we are following a really terrible Raw. If you haven't seen the Raw rundown, go check that out now, because Parker does a great job at destroying what was a terrible Raw. And, of course, there were some good key points there, as usual. It's hardly ever a fully terrible episode, and SmackDown is kind of the same, except I have seen fully terrible episodes. But tonight is a little different. It was a decent SmackDown. It wasn't downright terrible, but it wasn't like super exciting, and it wasn't full of hype, and I was just expecting it to be worse than it was. So really, it exceeded my expectations. So I'm really happy about that. So let's just go ahead and dive right into the card and what all happened. We start SmackDown off, of course, with Shane in the ring, and he's cutting a promo on Survivor Series. And this promo was, I feel like, unnecessary, and it felt like it was, like, some of the comments that he made, I think that it's actually true whenever he was trying to say that it wasn't. And I'll get to that in a second, but he starts out by saying, people ask me what Under Siege was about. Like, who's asking you that, Shane? No one should be asking you that. You explained it very well last week, I'll give you that, and we're not idiots, so we can comprehend why you did the Under Siege thing. Now, if you want to go out and say, like, prepare for a second siege or whatever, like, that's different. But to explain it again, we don't need that. It was unnecessary. Also, he was trying to fight against the fact that SmackDown was the B show. I'm sorry, but SmackDown is the B show. And the first brand split, maybe I wouldn't be so quick to say that, because it was seen as pretty equal, especially with the roster size and what they had going on. But this time around, of course it's the B show. And think about the rosters. Just you're in Raw, you're competing against their top champion Brock Lesnar, Samoa Joe, Roman Reigns. You got the whole Shield. You got the Bar. You got the Miz. You got Braun Strowman. You have Kurt Angle. And on SmackDown, you have your top champion as Jinder Mahal. No one takes him seriously as champion. I'm sure not even the 1.3 billion people in India. Like, I'm sure that they don't even take him seriously. No one takes him seriously. And you do have people like Kevin Owens, you have AJ Styles, you have Sami Zayn, Shinsuke Nakamura, Randy Orton. You have some of the top stars of the company, but you're just competing with a stacked roster on Raw. So of course you're the B show. So I didn't really enjoy Shane's promo all that much, so it's getting it down for me. And we start SmackDown off with the down, but then we come to the first match of the night, which is Dolph Ziggler versus Bobby Roode in a 2 out of 3 falls match. And I said last week that I wasn't looking forward to the match, not because I thought it was going to be bad, but because I wanted this feud to be over. And they kept, like, saying that this was the end of their feud, and this was a rubber match, and it was going to be the end. And it was a really good match. I enjoyed the match. We had the first pinfall by Ziggler, and I thought the second pinfall was a little weird because Roode got the second pinfall, obviously, and it was on commercial break. They did have the picture-in-picture thing on my screen, but still yet, it was weird to have it off TV. But I'm okay with that because the match stayed interesting. The ending was great. I loved it. The two worked together very well, and Roode wound up picking up the victory to be the third member of the SmackDown Live Survivor Series team, joining Shane McMahon and Randy Orton. And so, altogether, really good match. Surprising, but this gets an up. We have the New Day and Rusev and Aiden English in another segment. And, of course, Rusev and Aiden English are all serious, and New Day is, they're dressed in former WWE people. And you have Rusev comes up and says, why are you dancing around and playing around? What if Raw comes and attacks and whatever? And of course, that's when Xavier Woods gets serious and says, oh, we're ready at any time. And so that they cut a really funny segment there. And I really like their segments. If you haven't noticed, I enjoy it. It gives some humor. It gives some really good humor. New Day is just good. Rusev is good at getting heat, good at being a heel, although sometimes he's a little weird. Of course, Aiden English, talented singer, I don't necessarily like his singing as much, but talented singer and good at getting heat as well. So altogether, this segment was an out for me. Then we turn to another segment that deals with the women's tag team for Survivor Series, and Lana and James Ellsworth. And this this little segment did nothing for me because at first I thought it was going to be a hype up message from Becky Lynch to the rest of the team, and then we had James Ellsworth acting like a dog and Carmella's dog. I mean, if you have nothing for him, just fire him. Let him go. But to demean him to be Carmella's dog, that's a little weird to me. And then you had Natalya show up in the picture and boast about her being champion and having her own match and how she'd be the best on the team if she was, and who the weak link is, and like I don't like Natalya, and I didn't like the whole thing altogether. So this is getting a down. And we come back to a match between Sin Cara and United States Champion Baron Corbin. And as soon as I saw Baron Corbin come out, I was like, please don't let it be Sin Cara, but obviously it was going to be. And I was like, I don't like this match. I don't like this feud. And I did not like the ending. I didn't like anything about it. And especially because you have Sin Cara beating the crap out of Baron Corbin. Now, I can only understand this for two reasons. One is that I believe it's Sin Cara who has gotten in legitimate fights backstage against people like Alberto Del Rio and I can't remember some other names, and legitimately won. Like, came out on top. So, like, maybe he'd be able to take someone like Baron Corbin in real life, so, okay, maybe. But two is, if the rumor is true that WWE just renewed their contract with some lucha program or whatever, and so they're trying to push Kalisto and Sin Cara and make it look really good, and so I get that, but like, I wish they would make Sin Cara go over on someone else, or look good against someone else, because Baron Corbin really needs what we saw last week, and to be a monster heel, and to just destroy everything, destroy his opponents, but that's not what we saw. We saw him getting decimated by a cruiserweight, and it was terrible. I hated it. Matching it in a double count out, so what? I wish this would just end. Baron Corbin needs a legit feud, so this match gets a down. But then we have the Usos backstage, and they're talking about their match with Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose at Survivor Series. And of course, just like last week, they're kind of interrupted by Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin, who come up and they challenged the Usos for the tag team titles. And that match will be next week. And that's interesting. I really like that idea. Of course, the Usos, I feel like, are going to come out on top and still be the champions going into Survivor Series. But the addition of the match was just really good. I love the Usos and their promos. Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable were just mocking the Usos for humor, and so that was really funny. So it was a compact of funny and serious, and so I really like this segment, and it gets an up for me. Our next match features Samir Singh versus AJ Styles. And this match was obviously a squash match. It was obviously a 10-15 second match, probably a little more than that actually, because he did a few more moves to Samir. But the match went the way it was supposed to go. I'm actually surprised that like Jinder Mahal or Sumil didn't interfere and cause a disqualification for AJ Styles, and but like I said, it went how it was supposed to went, or how it was supposed to go. AJ Styles came out with the victory after hitting the phenomenal, or the Styles Clash. I can't even think right now. So that obviously gets it up. But then Jinder Mahal, the promo before the match, I was just dreading. And also, what about last week when he got thrown out from ringside? But then this week he says, because I'm WWE Champion, I'm just going to stay at ringside and you're not going to be able to throw me out. Like, it wasn't your decision last week. What makes it your decision this week? So I'm confused about that, and I'm confused at why he stayed at ringside. Although, I'm not too confused. Like, it was so predictable that once he said he was staying, what was going to happen? He attacked AJ Styles. I just didn't like it. I don't like Jinder Mahal. He gets a special down in this one. The next segment we have features Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, and they're sitting back there talking. And I really like what Kevin Owens says about Shane McMahon, this being a land of opportunity, but apparently all the opportunities go to Shane McMahon, which is kind of true. I mean, if you think about it, the past several months have featured Shane McMahon in high-profile matches or some sort of feud, some sort of high-card feud at that. And I get that it's Shane McMahon. You don't want him to have a low-card feud, but, like, why does he have to be in the feud at all? Stephanie McMahon and Kurt Angle aren't. And Kurt Angle was only in a match just because, like, he was kind of forced to. And he's in sort of a feud, but in a non-physical capacity. But, like, why does Shane McMahon have to hog the spotlight? So I agree with Kevin Owens there. I really like these two together. I like their chemistry together. Even just in promos, bouncing off of each other. I love it. This gets an up. The Bludgeon Brothers. We have our match with Rusev versus Big E, and this match was nothing special. There was nothing too boring about it. It started off a little weird with Big E spanking Rusev, but whatever. So I mean, but it was overall a sort of interesting match. Like, I was able to keep focused and entertained. Of course, you had some outside fighting between Aiden English and the other two members of the New Day, and the distraction from Aiden English actually allowed Rusev to pick up the victory by a reverse super kick or whatever, a super kick to the back of Big E. I don't know. Either way, like I said before, we saw that this was going to start a feud between the two teams, and that I guess this was the start of the feud physically, and I'm looking forward to it in a way because this wasn't awful, but I really hope they don't disappoint in the coming weeks. So this match gets an up for me. Then we have Rusev actually coming to the back, and he says that, and I'm only saying this just to inform you guys to kind of get the whole SmackDown experience, that Rusev says that he wants to be on the team because he would lead the team to victory, the SmackDown or the Survivor Series team. And Shane makes a match for next week and says that he's going against AJ Styles for that last spot. And this was kind of random to me. It was almost like a way of just putting AJ Styles on the team while also making him earn it through a match. But then again, they may swerve us and have Rusev be on the team. Either way, it gives some uniqueness to the team, because if you have bigness and muscle in Rusev, and you just have all-around greatness in AJ Styles. But it was just kind of weird. Like, okay, just put these two people together in a match. But I'm not getting this an up or a down. It's just for a wholesome review of SmackDown. We follow that up with an episode of Stranger Things. I really liked this one, and I really didn't like this week, or last week. So this was definitely a step up, a step in the right direction, and you had a special appearance by Ty Dillinger. I thought that was kind of funny. And then you had the Ascension, which I still think, in this one they were better. They weren't trying to be so comedic, but I liked the segment altogether. And we finally, I believe this finally solidifies the reveal. It is the Bludgeon Brothers who attacked. Like, we all knew this from the beginning. Parker and I actually said this from the very beginning. We think it's Harper and Rowan. We didn't expect them to be called the Bludgeon Brothers, but you know. And so they had like 5 pictures on the cork board, and each of them had like Christmas lights around them, and the lights in the room went out and everyone was attacked, and then the lights on the other 4 pictures went out and it was just the Bludgeon Brothers. And I think that pretty much solidifies who it was. Also, the ending was, I'll admit, kind of creepy. Like, and it was creepy in a good way. Like, I mean, I hope they continue this. So I'm going to give this segment an up, so that way it propels us into the main event between Kevin Owens and Shinsuke Nakamura for the 4th spot on Team Blue at Survivor Series. This was a good match, and you have 2 really talented people. You have Shinsuke Nakamura, and you have Kevin Owens. I did not expect this match to be bad at all. In fact, I expected it to be match of the night. And I'd be willing to say that was it. And of course, you had Sami Zayn come in and try to cause the distraction and try to help Owens win. And at first, I thought Owens had it won. After that frog splash, I thought, man, that was it. But Nakamura still kicked out. And what was funny is Randy Orton's music played, and from behind he attacked Sami Zayn and distracted Kevin Owens enough for Shinsuke to pick up the victory. And now Team Blue is Captain Shane McMahon, Randy Orton, Bobby Roode, and Shinsuke Nakamura. And then the winner of Rusev versus Styles next week. So this match was, although I didn't mention, but the beginning of the match was kind of slow, and I didn't really like that because Kevin Owens was playing the coward heel instead of the actual heel he can be playing, the physical heel. But altogether, good match. I liked it. I liked the storytelling behind it. So this match gets an up, and we end on an up, and we end with, as Parker said, goodness. But anyway, that's been SmackDown of October 31st, 2017. And I believe that's all I have. Looking forward to next week, seeing hopefully it's better. But leave a comment and tell us what you think about SmackDown, what you think about this video, if I was wrong or if I've missed something. Just let me know. If you like this video, hit the like button and subscribe to us for content like this. We will actually be watching TLC later on this week, and I hope that I can edit quickly enough to put the reactions up really soon, and we'll have the aftermath up, and you'll be able to see who the Wawa Echo World Heavyweight Champion is after the pay-per-view. Of course, if you keep up with our channel and the results, you know. But can't wait to do that, and to keep up with our content, just hit that subscribe button. Parker will be back for the Raw Rundown next week. I'll be back for the Smackdown Survey next week, and that is all I got for you guys. Alright, see you later. Peace.